Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today and Tuesday. A little bit of a pre-story to this. So before I went to the storage unit, our sales have been like super low since like the end of, Saturday was really bad. Sunday happened to have a turnaround, which I ended up finding out why. And then yesterday was bad and I woke up into no more sales and I was like, oh wow, I actually looked at our like numbers and that would be like if those numbers continued like on the brink of no emergencies, no car repairs, no nothing. So obviously not sustainable for full time. So I was kind of in the dumpster, not really in the dumps. I was just sitting there thinking yesterday for like an hour. I was just clicking on just random stuff on our eBay page, and then I was like, trying to just figure out, because I saw other people, like I don't usually compare myself to other people. I saw that they were talking about their eBay popping off, and I was like, ours took like a complete nosedive, like literally just like absolutely worse than part-time when we had it. So I was like thinking anything that I can work on. Usually changing something, you have to like, have a plan, and then you have to take time to implement the plan, and it takes time to see the results of it. So you can't just like change a lot of stuff in one day and see instantaneous results. So thinking, and I finally realized that since Sunday night, we normally have some kind of sale on for most of our items. I think between $9 and $700, we'll have some kind of sale, like 20% off, 30% off, 25% off. Really depends on just like our mood and what month it is. There's nothing like too crazy there. Just like we usually have a sale on. And I noticed the sale ended on Sunday, which is why we had a bunch of sales come in on Sunday. Or like when I was thinking about it, when I realized this was the issue for a couple of days. So that's what like people probably get notifications of, like, the sale's ending. And so people were probably picking up stuff before our sale ended. So I was like, oh, cool. Finally, something I can change, like actually like have a big effect in our store. Like I said, we normally have a sale on our store. That's part of our pricing strategy. So I turned that back on. So I was like, okay, cool. Whew, at least I figured out maybe why we had like a bad Monday, which was yesterday, and why we and then when you turn on a sale, we have so many listings, it takes up to 12 hours for it to actually like land on all of them. Just eBay takes forever to load for stuff, or at least for us. And then still had some sales overnight. So I was like, okay, cool, better than actual nothing. And then when I was on the way to the storage unit, got to the storage units, I was like, oh, it's still going to be a pretty sad video just because like super low sales. But then we had 3 sales come in. 2 of them are super huge. So I was like, it totally turned my mood around. All right, so the first one, this is going to be kind of hard to show right here. Give me a second to pick it up. So this right here is one of the cool things you can sell on eBay. It's like an actually unique item. There's probably no other ones. I don't know if you can see it. This is not for actual ammo. This is going to be a paint rack that like a store would have. So this is like a retail paint rack. It has all of the colors right here, and it has the little identifiers, and then they can put that many paint bottles. There's a little indent right here that someone could probably fix if they, like, I don't know, take a wrench or something and then or pliers and pull on it. But overall, this one's a pretty cool, unique thing. So someone picked up this one for $75. Plus, this has been taking up a lot of space at the storage unit. At some point, I was thinking about just bringing it here to use for my own paint bottles, but I have slightly thicker ones. So there's going to be like thicker pods, and then there's thinner ones. This fits the thinner ones. So yeah, that's just the company. It's a Ammo MIG by, was that Jim Ennis? Sorry, it's really heavy right now. I'm running out of breath. So that one's a pretty cool thing that people can find on eBay. I like selling that kind of unique stuff. I think we paid $25 for 3 different paint racks, and then I think we sold 2 of them before we started filming. This is the 3rd one. I forgot what brand it was. There was one that we sold for like $400 because I had a more known brand. I've never heard of that paint brand before. All right. Sorry, I'm out of breath from holding that thing. It's really heavy. All right, next up, and I'm glad to get the space back in the storage unit, is going to be, this is the other sale that popped in. This is going to be the World of Warcraft TCG Tomb of the Forgotten Aftermath booster box. It is sealed. I got really lucky with the auction of the stuff I got, the whole collection. I have 95% of the stuff listed. I'm going to finish up today, listing up like the bulk, like the lower end stuff. But this one sold for $479.99. Sorry, all of this is plus shipping, so the person paid shipping for the paint rack and then for the box right here. All right, so that changed everything around. So I was like, okay, cool. I can't complain anymore. I was being like a crybaby in my head. I was really sad. All right, Next up is going to be this Explorer Dungeon, also sold when I was there. Also super happy. I just want like stuff to sell just to show that we, that our eBay shop is still alive. This is going to be a shiny one. It has like a more cartoonish beholder, which is like one of the main enemies in Dungeons and Dragons. So it has like its one eye and then like its little tentacles. And I think each tentacle eyeball does its own special ability. One might do like a frost ray, another one's going to do like some kind of hypnosis or something. Sorry if I'm butchering this for D&D people. I've never fought one in a D&D session. I've played 2 5th edition sessions with level 1 characters, so you're not fighting a beholder then. But really cool shiny sticker. My brothers and I used to collect those smiley face shiny stickers that you would go to like those buffets and you would put like quarters into the machines and pop them out. But yeah, I remember those smiley face stickers. So people do collect this kind of stuff. All right, $12.80 for that, which is pretty cool for just like a sticker. All right, next up is going to be, I don't know if that was for any particular RPG, maybe a podcast or something. I'm not too sure. I looked it up a bit ago when I listed it. All right, moving along, we have another craft kit. We used to do pretty well. I forgot. I didn't even realize we had any more craft kits. We would get like stuff like this, and then also the needlepoint crafting kits as well. So this one's Skull and Bloom's kit right here. Has all like the construction materials here, and it shows it has the instruction book. I'm still out of breath from holding that and also carrying it in the storage unit. So yeah, this is a pretty cool one. People like to pick up crafting kits and stuff. This one I'm selling for $16. All right, moving along, we have Descent Journeys in the Dark Second Edition. These are going to be just the health counters, so the 1s and the 5s, and then the fatigue tokens or the stamina tokens right here. When the heroes use their special abilities, they don't have mana, they just run out of, they get fatigued, and then they can use like rest actions to get them back. So yeah, this is just a fantasy co-op game. Well, it's like semi-co-op. One person is going to play the Overlord, and they get to control all the monsters, and then the other players get to play heroes, and then there's usually scenario victories for both the heroes and the Overlord, and then you're supposed to play an overarching campaign to come to like a final conclusion. It's set between 2 acts, Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1, everyone has like lower quality weapons and the monsters are weaker, and Act 2 is when it amps up, when the monsters get stronger, and then the heroes can start getting better items and skills. Excuse me, this is going to be $12.79 for just the tokens, which is pretty good. And like, I think the full game can sell for 35, 40, 50. It's been a while. A lot of people have the base game. It's a lot of fun. If you're really into that kind of fantasy stuff, I'd recommend the base game. All right, move along. We have GURPS, Blood and Types right here. This is going to be some kind of Steve Jackson games, which they've done Munchkin. They did the fighting fantasy stuff. They also used to do a bunch of RPG stuff. So this looks like some kind of, I don't even know what kind of like gothic horror, maybe mixed in with like, I don't know, military stuff, and then kind of like more of a unique one. People like to collect all types of RPGs. This is sold for $7.26. So I saw a note on here that I had to relist this and take new pictures. So this must have been the last one. So this was replenishable for me at some point. I always find out that it sounds fancy, replenishable. All right, next up is going to be this HoloLive Relax Time. I got like 6 or 8 of these like a year ago from the person I get anime stuff. This is just going to be one of the statues. HoloLive is going to be Vocaloids. They're these like animated singers. They'll do concerts for people. They'll have like card games and like statues, and people really like the whole world and realm. I'm not too sure what character this is. I put Noelle Shirogane. I don't know if I said her name correctly, but yeah, this one I'm going for $22.39. I think I only have like two left, maybe 2 of them left. All right, moving along, we have this lot of like 50 or so, not 50. This is going to, yeah, 51. Sorry, I was off by 1. These are going to be 1 out of 72 scale. These are going to be like an inch higher. So these are Civil War little plastic figurines. A couple of them have like some painting or partially painted, but most of them are just like their original color. These end up going for $20 to repeat buyer. I got a bunch of like Revolution, Civil War, and then Napoleonic miniatures of different painting jobs, and then different sizes and different companies. But people like to pick them up. They like to use them with war games. They like to just paint them up and make little dioramas and have like little scenes and stuff that they make. And then they like to write about it sometimes. It's a whole different world, like the military miniatures. All right, next up is going to be this Raven's Giant Playing Card Deck. I actually didn't know that this was a Giant Playing Card Deck until I picked it up from the storage unit. When someone sent, I should have actually put a picture in there with the measurements of the card, but I guess it says right here in the front. So I think I had this listed for like $7 or $8. Someone sent like 3. I wanted to go to 4. And I'm like, whatever, I'll just take the 3 because there was some like misprint on the king, so like part of the art is like lighted out or something, as if the machine that would go over the cards to make the image kind of like, you know, had missing ink at that part. So this ended up going for, like I said, $3. Nothing too fancy. It's a cool front though. I like the little raven on the spade. All right, we have 2 items left. This one is going to be, sorry, it's a French game, Le Loup de Kudasu right here. I think it's going to be talking about little squirrels collecting their little nuts, and you have just a bunch of little cards. So yeah, I like to pick up the foreign games. I know people like to collect all sorts of types of board games. This looks like a fun little family game. I haven't seen this one before, but yeah, ended up selling for $26 right there. I think it's called, translated to English, it's like a nut job or something. Little, like one of those satirical games. All right, last up is going to be this. This is going to be Iron Crown Enterprises, which is the like one of the RPG brands. They're like, they'll spell out like ice, and then they have a little Iron Crown as their little logo for the brand. This is going to be some kind of sci-fi ship right here. It's already painted. I don't know if this was pre-painted, as like that's how these would come in the sets, or if someone painted it, but it's well done either way. Yeah, it's the Silent Death Nautilus. There you go. That's like the official name for this one. It was probably part of one of those like RPG sets where you open up those kits and you get a bunch of stuff, or some other accessory for the RPG. But yeah, this ended up going for $16.19. All right, cool. I'm so glad that we had like a turnaround with a couple items, because I normally don't get bummed out by bad eBay sales, but it's been pretty rough, or at least like it's too rocky. The sales would be like, I'll have like a good day, and then like a disaster day, and then like an day, and then it's like day, and then disaster, then like a good one. So I'm just tired of the inconsistency this year so far. I will do a video on December 31st, but this year has been the craziest like variance for our sales. All the other years, even our worst year, had more consistency with like how much each day was, and that was going to come with the realm of selling a bunch of different types of things, being an everything seller. But still, I thought that the quantity that we had at some point would level that out, which it was for a couple of years. So this year's been a weird one, but I'm super thankful that the big sales came in. Even the sticker for like $12 or whatever it was, 12.80 is pretty cool. As long as people are like buying stuff. I just don't like it when it feels like our store is like just completely turned off for like 12 hours. No offers, no purchases, no messages, no nothing. And then I'm nowhere for like an hour, as if magically turns on. It's super frustrating. It's getting really annoying at this point. All right, enough of me crying like a baby. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.